So this wasn't going to be planned this way. It was meant to be sunny. Don't you hate it when things don't go to plan? Hi everyone, my name's Lou and I represent Swell Youth and Vibe Community Charity, and I'm here today in a series of 4 videos that are going to talk to you about your move to secondary school. So let's go. I wonder how you're feeling about going to secondary school. Maybe you are full of excitement, maybe you are ready and you can't wait to get there in September, or maybe you're a little bit fearful, or maybe you're just a bit meh. We're going to have a think over the next 4 sessions about how it feels, about how to prepare, and we're going to be thinking about the changes, challenges and choices of moving on to secondary school. But first, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been to a fairground? Maybe you've been down to Dreamland in Margate, or maybe you've been somewhere else. When I was a little kid, not that small, but when I was under 7, I lived in a town that had its own fairground. It was always there, and there were loads of different rides that I enjoyed, and there were lots of different rides that I was too small to get on, and I felt really sad about that. I wonder if you've ever been to a fairground. Why don't you just, as a class, name some of the fairground rides that you have seen or that you like. So in the fairground where I grew up, one of the biggest things that you could see was the Ferris wheel, or the big wheel as we called it. And then behind the big wheel, you could see the mouse, and the mouse was a roller coaster. But there was also waltzers and carousels and water games, target games and arcades and haunted houses. Oh, and bumper cars. But there were all these things that made up the fair. When you first go to a fair, maybe it's exciting, it's big, and there's so many things, and there's lots of colours, and there's lots of noise and smells. Some of them nice, some of them not. There's lots of new things to go and explore. I wonder what kind of fairground person you are. Are you the person who has already planned it out? You've looked at the map online, you've decided which route is the best route to take, you've looked at the queues, and you've decided how your day is going to be. Or maybe you're the one who's just like, I just want to go on everything now! And you just run to the nearest ride. Or are you the one who's a little bit more cautious? I might watch the ride a couple of times before I go on it. Maybe you're a bit picky. Now I'm a bit like this. There's loads of rides that I love, but there's a few that are just hard pass. And maybe you're the one who's going to wait with the bags actually. Or maybe you don't even want to set foot in the fair. Going to secondary school is a bit like entering a fun fair. Now, I wish I could say there's waltzers and big wheels and all these kind of things, but in terms of feelings, going to secondary school can have the same thing. It's big, it's exciting, there's lots of noise, there's lots of new. And for some of us, that is super exciting. And for others of us, it's really scary and overwhelming. And for a lot of us, we're somewhere in between. Sometimes excited, sometimes really not. So we're going to think about some fairground rides as we go through these sessions. Just before lockdown, I went to London and I saw my favourite thing to see at a fair, which is a carousel. I love those horses and just think they're beautiful, and the way that they are created, and each of them are named and each of them are decorated slightly differently. And I love just watching them round and round and round and round. What I love about the horses is they go round, but they gallop at the same time. So you go up and down. I love it. And then you've also got the waltzers. Now the waltzers, sometimes I love them, sometimes I don't. But again, you're going round and you're spinning and you're spinning. And I just wondered, what are the things that are going round and round in your head when it comes to thinking about secondary school? So in your groups or in pairs, what I want you to do is write down some of the changes that are going to take place. What's going to happen? What's going to be different about secondary school? Okay, wonder if you got any of these. New school uniform, new walk to school, earlier get up time. That was definitely not something I loved. Maybe you're thinking about homework. Maybe you're thinking about friends and the fact that you get a chance to make different friends or go to different clubs or have specialised teachers. So what I want you to do now is I want you to put a emoji by each of these. How you're feeling about them. Maybe you're really excited that you get a new school uniform. Maybe you like the fact there's going to be lots of teachers. Maybe you're a little worried about the fact there might be more homework. Maybe you're confused about where to go in the school. Maybe you're a little bit happy sad about the fact that maybe you're leaving some friends, but you have the chance to make some new friends. Just put some emojis down, and as a group, then discuss some of your feelings around these topics. The thing about changes is we can prepare for them, but sometimes they might make us feel a little bit wobbly right at the beginning. Like when you get on the carousel and you kind of have to get on the horse, but sometimes they sort of jolt a bit when the ride starts. Or like when you're first in the waltzer, you kind of have got to get your bearings, and once you've spun round and round and round, you kind of are trying to get off and you're a little bit wobbly in yourself. Changes sometimes make us feel a little bit wobbly inside. But one thing that we can do for a lot of changes is we can prepare for them. Okay, so what I want you to do in your tables or in your groups, I want you to write out 3 of your changes. And then I want you to swap it with the table next to you. Have you done that? Great. Now, what I would like you to do as a group is I would like you to look at the other table's changes, and we're going to mind map some of the things, some of the solutions for those changes. What could we do to deal with the change of getting up early or making new friends or doing up a tie? Let's take that as an example. I can't tie up a tie. I didn't have to wear one for secondary school. I've never had a job where I needed to wear one. Most of you will be wearing a tie at secondary school. A solution for that would be, I need to talk to some people about how to do up a tie. I need to practice doing up a tie. So take 2 and mind map around them some of the solutions of how you could cope with that. Have you done that? Now, I'm not gonna promise you that this is the magic formula. As I said right at the beginning of this, I was planning on filming outside today in a lovely garden, and the plan has had to change. And sometimes your plans will change, but we can make steps and we can prepare for these changes. In the next video, we're going to talk about when we try and plan for changes, but something goes wrong, or maybe it's not something that we can prepare for, and that's usually when changes become challenges. So that's it for this session. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one when we're going to talk about challenges and how to overcome them. But for now, here's the phrase that I want you to remember. We can prepare for change, and change helps us to grow. That's it for today. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Do get in touch with us in the following ways, and don't forget to comment below and tell us what your favourite fairground ride is. Bye.